What's up, everybody? Anox checking in here for another Fireside Chat. This is the Fireside Chat birthday special because today is my 46th birthday. And as you can see, I got the Bob Marley driver cap on, which is actually a Scally cap. Forget what company put it out, but it is a Bob Marley Scally cap. Absolutely love it. It's Bob Marley Day, which is a national holiday in Jamaica because it's Bob Marley's birthday as well. And I got the Bob Marley knockaround sunglasses. Knockaround is a brand of sunglasses that does all the different themes. I got the Bob Marley ones. Call this fuck out, so I don't know if I'm really feeling it like that. But had to do it for Bob Marley Day and my birthday. It's also Babe Ruth's birthday, Ronald Reagan's, I believe. I call it the GOAT birthday. So anyway, couple of things I wanted to talk about today that I was just reflecting on for my birthday. And the first thing I wanted to talk about is one of my pet peeves, and that's when I meet somebody, particularly a guy, like a new friend, a potential new friend, or somebody I'm speaking to, who feels they need to interject a few things into conversation when we first meet. So let me just get this straight. When I first meet you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to impress me, you know? However we cross paths or whatever, anything like that, it's cool to just talk about, what's going on now. I don't need to hear your war stories from your past. I don't need to hear, you treating your past relationships with women as conquests and, anything like that, or to talk about, women in certain ways from the past, because I'll be most honest with you. Most of it's an embellishment, and a matter of fact, all that was most likely a fucking bad experience for her. So you don't need to be talking about shit like like it's a badge of honor or a notch on your belt. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to hear anything about that. Let me know who's in your life now, the people that you love, what you've accomplished, where you're going in the future, what you're up to now, the wisdom you've gained, things like that. Like, I don't need to know about your past situations, like I said, which is more than likely just somebody else's mistake. So that's one thing, and so I got a few pet peeves. Another thing is the way, anything from your past, right? Like, and you don't need to talk about, like, when you threw the 4 touchdowns in one game, like Al Bundy, either. Like, it's cool if it comes up in conversation, if we're watching a game or something. You don't need to lead with those things. You don't need to impress me with those things, because me and nor anybody else really gives a fuck. Like I said, unless we're in that topic of conversation and it happens to come up. The sports thing, not the women thing. I don't need to know anything about that. That's cool, man. That's cool. So that's complete turn off right away. Complete turn off right away, especially for people who have wives, daughters, sisters. Like, don't talk about women in a certain way. Dudes still feel at the later ages in life talk about women disrespectfully. That's completely a turn off for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Grow up. And the other thing is having to interject your political beliefs into every conversation that we have, or into a conversation when we meet. And people do it under the assumption that you feel the same way as them. The way they interject their political beliefs, either side, either way, into the conversation or into the relationship or the friendship in casual conversation, like as if you agree with them, just because you happen to meet and are talking. It doesn't mean you interject your political beliefs and assume that that person feels the same way as you, just because they're entertaining your presence or conversation. That's fucking annoying. So those things, please leave those out if we meet in conversations. I don't need to know those things. And again, unless, a certain topic of conversation comes up that leads us in that direction. Another thing that I was thinking of is, how people throw around the nerd thing so often. Every time do you have to be, enthused about something, like something, collect something? Do you have to be called a nerd? Like, a nerd is a certain type of person. Everybody knows what a nerd is. You're just like, okay, that's a nerd. And whether they're proud of that or not, that's great. But a nerd is not defined by, knowing a lot about something or being into something or collecting something or being enthused by something. Let's drop the nerd from that. You know what I'm saying? Because then what's not a nerd? When you fucking wake up, go to work, come home, stare at a blank wall, and go to bed, like, then I guess you're not a nerd. But guess what? You're a fucking boring person then if you're not a nerd. So that's another thing that annoys me. But yeah, I mean, I'm 46 years old. I guess that's why it's leading to me to some of these fireside chats. How you live and you learn about things. I feel like I got so much to share, and I feel like I have so much to learn. And I think that's one of the most important things about life. I tell my son that all the time. Don't feel like you can't learn from somebody who knows less than you about any particular topic. And Mickey Mantle said it best. He said, "You will be surprised what you don't know about a sport you've been playing your whole life. How much you don't know about a sport you've been playing your whole life, and that goes for everything, not just sports. Anything. There's always so much to learn, and it's once you think you know it all, that's when you shut yourself off. That's when you stop learning. That's when you close your mind. Always approach everything with an open mind and understand you can learn from everybody. Even if somebody knows less than you about a certain topic, they may know something different. And that's the only way you do learn. The only way you do learn is when you approach things with an open mind and have the attitude that all I know is I don't know fucking anything. You know what I'm saying? And then I think that's one of the ways. That's one of the things I really realized as I got older is that you can't approach life like you know everything. You have to approach it like you know nothing, and then take it from there. Peace out, everybody. Got some cool things coming up soon. Anox Unbox Valentine's Day special will be coming up. Then the Anox Unbox 2026 St. Patty's series will be coming up too. I got a couple hats in the mail, but I'm also still waiting for maybe a couple caps to be dropped to add some of that stuff. So take care. Crush your weekend. Peace.